So if anything has to change, it has to change from within. Radical realities, you will have to remember a lot of stuff. The time when I started to become more introverted as a person and more reserved, now I find it very difficult to bond with other people. I do doctors have asked like MBBS, BHMS, BDS, to be good at something, you have to be bad at it once. Everyone talks about inner beauty and I also talk about it to sound cool and confident. But in reality, I'm kind of insecure. We have converted this into a series of videos. So if you haven't seen the other videos in the series, make sure that you check them out. Namaste everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing great. Without any further ado, let's get started. First, a person he says that social media means nothing to your values and character and personality. Life without social media is still worth it. I completely agree to this. Even if you are on social media, it's a really good idea to take some intentional social media breaks. It will really help you refresh and unplug, and it also will give you a different perspective on life, and I would really recommend that you do it once in a while. How to balance study with extracurricular activities? I have answered this question very extensively in the earlier videos, or make sure that you check them out. The question is the difference between healthy PDP and unhealthy PDP. Okay, so I was spending some time figuring out what PDP was. PDP meant personality development. I was thinking that how could it be unhealthy? Actually, it refers to your senior coming and taking your introductions and everything. Introductions and your seniors telling you to do random stuff, that's fine. It really opens you up. Healthy interaction with seniors is very, very important. Having said that, what actually happens is the seniors try to instill fear in you for no good reason. I remember from my personal experience, there was one thing they did that you have to give your introductions by looking down, which I really didn't understand. Like, why should I speak like this? Why should I look down? Why can't I look into your eyes? You have spent so much time and effort and got this medical seat at your own merit. Why should you look down? The irony here is when these people they become seniors, they do the same to their juniors. So if anything has to change, it has to change from within. As seniors, you have to be very welcoming and supportive. And if your seniors didn't do that to you, please make sure that you do it for your juniors. So facing all of this, what I'll tell you is don't worry. You are going to pass first year, you're going to go in second year, and these people will become your friends eventually. Take it in stride and move on, and please don't do it to your juniors. The next thing is how to sleep in noise. Do exercise, get tired so much that once you fall in your bed, you fall asleep, so you're not thinking about light or noise. So this strategy works. The other thing that you can do is put earbuds so that you reduce the noise. The third thing that you can do is listen to some nice calming music. You can listen to alpha waves, which actually help you to fall asleep and have a better and relaxing sleep. If the noise is caused by people around, you can just request them to please keep it low. And not good at remembering things. How do I survive MBBS? In medical field, realities, you will have to remember a lot of stuff throughout med school. So you will get used to it eventually. Some of the tips that I can give you. Number one, start by really understanding the information that you're reading, not just mugging it up. Okay, once you understand the information, it's easier to remember. The second thing is connect and interlinked information. For example, you're studying, like, say, anatomy of the thyroid gland. Okay, you study that. Once you come to physiology, you're studying endocrinology of the thyroid gland. Go back to anatomy and revise it. Similarly, when you come to biochemistry and you're studying thyroid function test, revise anatomy and physiology as well. So it helps you to interlink information and consolidate memory. The third thing that you can do is please have good quality sleep. Because when you're sleeping, that's the time when things are getting embedded in your memory. Fourth thing is repeated revisions. Okay, the more you revise, the more you're going to remember. There is no shortcut to revisions. The fifth thing that you can do is you take notes. You draw flow diagrams. This really helps you to develop a pictorial memory and you will be able to reproduce things better in exam. The other thing you can do is, it might sound funny, but at least try it out. Once you have understood a concept, try and explain it to yourself. This is known as the teach back method. You teach back to yourself. So once you do that, you will never forget it. It's really good if you can teach it to a friend, but if there is no friend, you can teach it back to yourself and it really helps. The other thing that you can do is make mnemonics. These are some of the things that you can use to consolidate your memory. This is also a very interesting experience. Me and my best friend started to drift apart due to academic pressure. We weren't able to communicate very well like we used to before. I used to share my deepest and darkest secrets with her, but that backfired on me when our bond was no longer alive. My secret got out and became a hot topic for the entire school. This incident taught me to never trust anyone in a hard way. I think that was the time when I started to become more introverted as a person and more reserved. Now I find it very difficult to bond with other people. I mean, this is so sad. This is a genuine request to everyone. If someone happens to trust you, don't break it. Because You might not realize it, but it can really adversely affect a person's life.
I'm not an expressive person. How can I ask for help without feeling vulnerable? And how do I know that the opposite person is genuine or not? Well, you'll never know the person is genuine or not if you do not ask. Ever shy away from asking for help? See, if you never ask, the answer is always no. But if you do, there is a possibility of yes. Worst that can happen is that they'll say no. But there's so many people who are willing to help you.
Why do doctors have casts like MBBS, VHMS, BDS? Why aren't all of them the same? All these things that you mentioned, like MBBS is mostly based on allopathy, BHMS is homeopathy, then there is Ayurveda, there's dentistry, there's naturopathy. So all of them are not caste, but they are different sciences, they are different approaches towards healing. So all of us are working towards the same motive. All of them deserve their due respect and all of them should be treated equally and respectfully. I had experienced this from my studies during NEET preparation that stress ultimately leads to mental health issues and eating habits which lead to weight gain. This is true. When you are under stress, there are two spectrums that happen. So some people are at one end of the spectrum, they start overeating and they tend to gain weight. And then there are other people on the other edge of the spectrum, they stop eating altogether and they lose weight, both of which is very unhealthy.
Is money the only important thing in life or respect? Both are important, and I think both are best when earned. They actually make sense when they're earned. As a child, I was always fascinated by two of my favorite games. First was cycling. It took me actually more than 3 years to learn how to cycle. Now I participate in a lot of cycling tournaments. Made me realize that though I'm quite a slow learner, but I can still do it. Improvement of just 1% per day makes a real change. Though I was a slow learner, it was way better than quitting. I agree to this wholeheartedly. To be good at something, you have to be bad at it once. Question is, has a slow learning process or consistency impacted your life? What I can remember is I was a slow learner when it came to math, never really understood maths that well. Once I was doing a chapter known as Relations and Functions, which is supposed to be a very easy chapter by the way. Spent like 6 hours on the chapter and then I told my brother that I did Relations and Functions. He was like, वो तो आधे घंटे में हो जाता है. And I felt really bad about it. Math was one subject which I was not really good at. I really worked hard on it and eventually ended up getting better at it. If you work on things consistently, you improve. The region that I belong to, there used to be a concept in the minds of the people that helping at home to mothers is only done by girls. But I helped my mother in almost every work that she did for us. So this helped me make a good bond with my mother and it also helped me to lower my ego and make me a more humble person and also caring for my siblings. I think that's really sweet that you did this. Something really important in my life that I've realized is that not just hope within us, but also hope that is provided by somebody else. When we feel low, I learned this from an incident that happened when I was in class 11th. It was an all India level test in the class and a very few people scored well. Our teacher just said that those scoring below certain marks should forget their wish of getting into medicine. It was very disheartening. While coming back home, I did not get a rickshaw. Finally, I got a rickshaw. This person was going home and he didn't even charge me for the rickshaw. We were talking and he asked me about my studies. By getting down, he just said that, don't worry at all. You will surely succeed. That's when I learned that God can also appear as hope through people.
The things that I learned is that fear of failing, insecurity, anxiety, restlessness leads to stress and reduces our efficiency. These feelings can only destroy our strength. They can't really give us anything. I totally agree. A calm mind and patience are the keys to win any battle of life. I totally second that. The thing that has really helped me in life is make a list of things you're worried about, divide them on the basis if you can do anything to change them or not. Do your best for the things that you can change and forget about the rest. That's a very good advice. If you cannot change certain things, you should let them go, and the things that you can change, work hard and change them. The question here is, everyone talks about inner beauty and I also talk about it to sound cool and confident, but in reality I'm kind of insecure and underconfident about myself in the looks department.
Whenever I see someone more beautiful, my introverted self comes to surface. How to stay confident in these situations? Confidence should never come from anything that is superficial, whether it be your looks, any material possessions that you have. Beauty of the skin is just a millimeter deep, but the beauty of your heart is deeper than the seven seas. Beauty, I think, is a very subjective term. Beauty does lie in the eye of the beholder. What I might find beautiful, somebody else might not. And what I might not find beautiful, somebody else might. So there's this quick activity that we did in class where everyone had to quickly tell which was their favorite animal. Generally, what do you expect? Expect people to say tiger, lion, peacock, elephants and dogs, right? People came up with certain responses that even I was shocked to hear. Ants, crows, monkeys. Like those were their favorite animals. For them, a crow was beautiful. They were actually genuinely, honestly convinced. So I think beauty is very subjective. There's no need for you to feel insecure or underconfident. One thing that I would definitely recommend is start exercising and take really good care of yourself. Best time to start is now. If we keep ourselves fixated on the need to be perfect, be it having the best resources, the right amount of time, or the right guidance, there will never be a right time. So let go of this urge and start with whatever resources that you have in hand. I completely agree to this. Start wherever you are and with whatever you have. Don't wait for the right time, it never comes. The question is, I'm interested in performing research, but I'm completely new to this. What should I do? So see, if you want to perform research in first year or any year of med school, first thing to do is to look for a guide. So there will be a lot of senior professors or your seniors who will be probably working on certain research papers or certain research work. Go and talk to them and start by assisting them. The other thing is ICMR, which is Indian Council of Medical Research. It has this STS program, the short-term studentship program, encourage UG students for research. I think you can explore more about this and really get into research. It was about 8 years back when I was in my native place, Gujarat. I was 12 years old and a naughty boy. I was playing with a tennis ball on the terrace. I remember seeing a beggar couple who was extremely hungry and had a small child with them. Someone gave them some slices of bread. The child immediately ate his slice and was still hungry and wanted more of it. Saw that without hesitation, his parents gave their slices to fill his stomach while cells remained hungry. I will not forget this moment since it made me realize the importance and value of our parents and the sacrifices they have made for us. On that note, I would like to end today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments and questions in the comments below. Also, you can write to me at lovefaithhopeandhealing@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, the handle is right here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button.
So I asked 100 first-year medical students to share their experiences about their life and what they had learned from it, and also to ask me any questions that they might have. I got a bunch of really interesting responses, so we have converted this into a series of videos. So if you haven't seen the other videos in the series, make sure that you check them out. I'll put the links in the description below.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time soon. Love and peace.
Do a big hand movement वाला कैसा रहता है? ये बनता है पूरा हैंड से डालेंगे, ठीक है ना?
हम करूँगे तो ना
वो बस
इधर देखते रहो यार, एक से सीधा इस तरह करेंगे तो भाई सीखिए ऐसे वाली
मैं कोटिंग में ऐसी है ना।
ऐसा हो गया। चलो 1 2 3 स्टार्ट आइस
On camera, on action. Namaste everyone. Sorry. Well, super tasa. So here I'm feeling on my phone and I love this for everyone. Absolutely essential, and I would really recommend that you do it on a timely basis once in a while. It really happens in med school. This is their weird setup of instilling fear and all, and I think this is genuinely not done. Really a beautiful process, and you will never forget it. Somebody has managed to trust you. Please try and not break it.
Don't worry. Just ask for help. Nothing wrong in being a slow learner. I think it's a good thing.